Buongiorno amici, ciao a tutti. Sono BC and welcome to another TueZday Garage. Oh man, it's been a busy couple weeks, and we didn't have a vlog last week because I actually had a friend who needed to get some work done to his car. He's moving soon. He's going to an area. He wanted to make sure his car was good to go, so I said, yeah, let's have you come on over and we can use my garage. So we had to push the Z out of the driveway and spent the time working on his car, and it was good. It was good to help him out because I know he really needed it. But we also haven't been doing much because we're waiting on parts, man. I mean, and you know, it just takes time, right? It just takes time because we're ordering stuff that isn't normally ordered, and it all has to do with the transmission. And it's because when I put that thing together, I really want it to be fresh, man. I really want it to be good, and so I don't want to reuse a lot of things, and you know, so it's just kind of hard to get your hands on some stuff that's just stuff that people don't normally order. So no big worries on that. It is the Saturday before the Super Bowl. Beautiful out, man. It's it's nice, and for all you haters, that's right. It's perfect, man. Come on. But anyway, let me show you what's been going on inside the engine bay. So everything's really clean, and I think we already talked about that before, but I've also been test fitting the actual the hardware needed for the RB mounts, and I was gonna go ahead and do the painting, and then I thought, you know what, I'm gonna be doing some cutting, so I also spent a day with test fitting everything for the front mount intercooler. And guys, that ended up being like just hours of fail, man. And the reason why is because I can't figure out where to put the intercooler. I mean, like all the piping and everything like that. I really can't figure all that out until the engine is in the car. Like, I need to know exactly, precisely where the input and the output of the engine is sitting to know where the pipes start and begin. As far as the intercooler goes, where the intercooler goes and the way the pipes are going to get up into the engine bay, that's done. That's figured out. It's just where they go, man. So anyway, I've gotten to this point where I think I'm going to need to put this engine into the car now to test fit everything. But I don't want to do that, man, just because it's, I don't know. I just don't want to move it around a lot. I don't want to mess it up. So this is what I'm going to do. We have to get the welding done. Oh, and here's another thing. This is another very crucial piece. So let me show you this. So the sway bar. Okay, now the company that I got the mounts through, which was I can't remember. I'm gonna put their thing right here. Anyway, very happy about that product. And on the website it said that the engine would clear the sway bar in the stock location. You read the fine print, you find out it's because the RB that they used had an RB25 oil pan. And we're not doing that. We're using the RB26 oil pan. So I made a mock test of where the oil pan would be. I tried to put it in here. Doesn't fit, man. Doesn't clear that sway bar. And that kind of got me grumpy. That got me grumpy, to say the least. So contacted this company called St. Louis Speed and Sound, and they custom made a sway bar for the Z that clears that RB oil pan. So I called them up, and sure enough, they still had one in stock. So it's a little pricey, but it's on its way. It's gonna be coming. So that is freaking amazing. So really, the only thing we have left to do is to modify the crossmember. We also have to take the sway bar out anyway because we got the new one on its way. We can't do anything with the transmission right now because we're waiting on those parts to show up. So I'm gonna get to work and pull out the crossmember and the sway bar. And then what we're gonna do is we're actually going to do the cuts and all the mods here in the garage today, or between now and the time that this is coming out. And then we are actually going to mock it all up to the engine on the stand. Rather than the engine going into the bay, we're going to bring the bay to the engine.
Well, that was an absolute and total success, man. Way easier than I thought it would be, and in the long run, yeah, definitely worth it. This probably wouldn't be possible if you had the engine in. Well, I mean, of course, because the engine actually mounts to this cross member. This is where one engine mount goes, and this is where the other engine mount goes. But the other reason why is because the engine actually goes over this. The oil pan straddles it, and then the back of the oil pan where the sump is would get in the way of the steering rack to come out of the way. But you can see, I mean, it was pretty simple. We got one of the arms here. The steering rack is still completely put together, so no effect on the alignment. Like, nothing is going to be misaligned or anything as a result of what we did. The sway bar, really simple. Removed one bolt from each side, then the 2 bolts on each side of the front, so that just popped right out. And then for this, we had to remove that cross member, which is right here. So that cross member came out. The steering rack unbolted here and here, and then 2 bolts right here, and that was it, man. It was just that simple. Now, the way ahead is, so I don't have a Z engine mount laying around. I might actually have an RB mount. Yeah, I do. Here we go. All right, so okay, well this will work just for illustration purpose. So the Z would mount to this cross member by sitting like this. Okay, this is how the Z would mount if this was the mount for the Z, as such, and then this is attached to the block and all that good stuff. But the RB, because of the way the RB is sitting, this isn't going to work. So what we need to do, we have some custom mounts. This is the original RB mount here with the isolator. So we've got these plates, and what these plates are going to do is they're going to bolt in place like that. And then I think I'm actually going to have the welding shop just put some good welds right here and on the back side as well, just to extra reinforce it. And now this moves the position from where these 2 bolts are up to this position right here. So now this will mount way up here like this. And yeah, we got to do that on both sides. All right, man, initial cuts looking good, initial fits looking good. So we got everything tightened down on this side, I mean finger tight, and everything on the other side. And you can see, I mean, if it sits how it should, which is a little bit back like that, I mean, it is just clearing where it needs to be. But we got a little bit more work to do, and we'll see how it all fits after that. Man, I'm sweaty, hot, and I've changed clothes. It's actually, this is the first time. This is actually the very first TueZday vlog that I did not shoot on a Tuesday. So normally I come home from work, I do everything Tuesday, I edit, I upload, and the video is published all on Tuesday. But this particular one, I needed to kind of stretch out. So it's been over the course of 3 or 4 days. But I think we're in a really positive place. So let me show you what we're looking at now that we did all that work. So the engine's all completely mocked up to the cross member now again, and I want to show you this. So if you look here now, it's only finger tight, so you can see how the engine's kind of leaning forward, and this is not exactly parallel, but the assumption is once it's tight, it'll actually parallel out like that. And And if it does that, okay, because we're really not gonna know once this engine actually has gravity doing its thing on it. So let's assume it's in there, it's parallel. Now look. Oh yeah, man. And it's meant to be close, guys. It's meant to be close. Now, I could go ahead and hack away so much of this this cross member, but I'm just not gonna do that because it's really not necessary. This engine's not gonna have a lot of movement because these are more or less semi-solid bushing. There's not going to be a lot of rocking or cradling, especially front to back movement, because we're also using a really high quality Nismo tranny mount, so I'm really not concerned about it. Now, the real test is going to be once, see, look, it just fits in there just right, man, just right. So definitely I think we're ready for the weld shop, and yeah, so now here's the rub, right? So what happens when we get all the work done and we get this, we drop the engine in? And because here's another thing, I don't actually even know if side to side it's sitting on the cross member correctly, because you could see here, look, I can even shift it because the holes are big, right? So side to side there's going to be a little bit of play as well. So that's something that's all going to get figured out. Now, again, what happens if we get it in and it just doesn't fit quite right? Well, I've already planned ahead. Look, man, I got some extra thick fender washers. I also got some thick rubber washers, and I got enough for both sides. So what we could do is, we got enough hardware here that we can actually go ahead and add extra spacing in right here at the insulator, and that can help raise this engine up off the crossbeam a little bit. I may actually do it right off the bat, I'm not sure, but I mean, there's no way to tell what the actual hood clearance is right now, so we're gonna basically play with the limits as much as we can to get a good hood clearance and still be as safe as we can and a good clearance down here. So Amici, that's gonna be it for today, for this Tuesday vlog, and we are really getting to a cool place. So this week my mission is to get out and try and get this thing welded up. It may take a week, it may take 2 weeks, I really don't know. I gotta talk to the fabricator. Yeah, we're doing good. We're doing really good. This has been a big piece. So I've been thinking about what to do with this engine, and I thought, you know what? I could probably sell it. Maybe someone could gain off of it. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm donating it to the local high school, to the auto shop class, so that they can use it to teach and learn and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I think I'm gonna also be donating the leftovers of the RB26 tranny, and yeah, let these kids have some fun with it. So should be good times. But anyway, thanks again for joining me, and I'll talk to you later. Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye.